Gundam.tk presents Gundam GP03S Stamen. Hey everybody, what's up? It is Robert184 and I'm here today with a review of the Gundam GP03S Stamen Master Grade from the OVA series 0083 Stardust Memories. This was an older Master Grade from 2001 and it sells for the price of 3,500 yen, or $35 you could call it. Nothing special at all on this box, you just get a front shot of it, a rear shot where you can really see the thrusters. The head has a fair bit of detail, which was a big deal in 2001. The cockpit opens. It does have the folding arm when it goes in and attaches, and it has the start of the inner frame, including a complete leg. Now when they advertise an action pose that looks like, yeah, he's got his legs slightly bent and his arms slightly up, you know that this kit isn't going to have a lot of articulation. But on the plus side, it does come with a core fighter that you can keep separate from the Gundam. He's able to reach back and grab his own beam sabers, and it comes with two unique weapons, a folding shield and a folding bazooka, in addition to two beam sabers and a beam rifle. And yes, the core block, not the core Brock as it is on the GP01, you can put that in, or you can actually fold up the core fighter and put it inside. Nothing fancy on the manual, just the regular Master Grade with the name on the front, story about the kit, and then when you look at the plates, they actually have a big blow up and the plates go up to H. And then it comes with ABS parts and then of course polycaps. All the different parts of the Gundam, a lot of story, and as with the GP02A, you're going to get a color page here, a color guide, and some, again, action poses, which leave me wondering how bad this is going to be when you put it together. But overall, not that many parts here, and fairly large directions, and much easier to follow than those of the GP01 and GP02. And then when you flip to the very back, you're going to get a back shot of the Master Grade Gundam. Also in the box, when you open it up, you're going to get the old style Master Grades used to come with a very nice cardboard insert showing off the Gundam in probably what is considered to be its best pose. You can see with the plates here, nothing exciting in terms of colors, mostly white and gray, two pink beam sabers, and the A plate has all the color parts in it, so the red, the blue, and the yellow. In terms of parts, before you put it all together, you're going to have a fair bit with this, which was sort of fun to build. You're going to get the feet and legs, which are attached together, rear thrusters, a separate waist unit, and then you're going to get a lower torso and an upper torso, in between which you're going to attach either the core block that they give you, or you can fold up the core fighter and put that inside, which I really like that. You get the arm, including the folding arm, separate shoulders, the head, and as for weapons, you get the folding bazooka, folding shield, beam rifle, and two beam sabers, and that's landing gear for the core fighter. Taking a look at the parts from bottom to top, starting with the feet, you've just got one fat blue piece that you can put some black lining on it. This part is very, very loose, but I do like the fact that you get to see all the mechanics inside. However, the mechanics of the engineering are not that great. There's actually a screw in this ankle, but you're able to bring up the back of the heel, which you'd think would give you better posability, but it doesn't really. And if you have that screw too tight, it's not going to move well on the pistons, so be careful of that. As far as bending though, you do get a, wow, going on a 135-degree bend there, and you're able to put in a whole bunch of black lining around there to make it look a little bit better, but the knee does not detach, which is something they would have done with newer Master Grades. As far as looking at the skirt armor, again some black lining, that is a red piece. I actually like the side armor, it's one of the more unique sets for the Gundams. And on the back, you're able to take these thrusters, which should be painted red inside, and they look like that on all the promo images, and you just slap those on the back, and you sort of get the effect of the skirt, but they're very simple, it's just one big piece. So I thought that they could have just made them either a little bit thicker, or at least up the part count. As far as this is just going to plug in here, and you're going to slide the core block into it like this. And then once you've done that, you're going to cap this on the top, and it does have a cockpit opening place here. Especially if you push it from the inside, it's easy to do, not so easy later, and you can see the pilot inside. Green sticker there, and otherwise no articulation at all. On the shoulders, I'm going to put some dry decals on there later, but they do look pretty cool once you put in the lining, although this should be solid black, not just lined. In addition to the fists that are attached right now to the folding arms, they're going to give you a variety of different hands, but most of them don't move. This one does have moving thumbs and moving fingers, but they're only able to open this much. So again, those could have been a lot better. As far as the core block system goes, this is something that I was really pleased about, because this, even though it looks similar as the core block, is actually the transformed core fighter. So you can have a core fighter separate while slapping this on the back of the Gundam. First, it's got some black lining there. Those grooves could have been a little bit deeper, and you can see the pilot on the inside. But what I like about them in the back is that these open up, and once you open them up, you are able to have the beam sabers resting in there, and he's able to actually reach back and get them. Fairly movable, you can slide them in, lock that into place, this adjusts, and this is on a ball joint so you can move the thrusters around. So I'm impressed with the core block system, and unlike a lot of Gundams that rely on huge wings for their coolness, this is going to be a really bottom heavy Gundam. As far as the head actually really stands out compared to other Gundams, mostly for the fact that it has two small discs, one on either side. But it's really hard to get the lining in here, so you're going to have to take a few tries and probably clean it up afterwards with a toothpick. It's also unique in that you line it along the seam where you slap the front onto the back. But overall, I think the head looks cool, and this little double antenna is a nice plus. Looking at the weapons, you've got the beam weapons, and I just painted this, so it's wet, but this should be a clear part with red paint on it. Nothing fancy, but you can move that around. The folding bazooka, though, I thought was a nice touch. Again, you'll put in a clear part that you can paint red, but if you open up this latch here, once you do that, you're able to bend the bazooka in and around, so you've got a folding bazooka. Now, what's the point of that? I don't know, but it's a nice aspect anyway, something different from a regular bazooka. And the shield, again, folds up. But what is sort of cool is that it has 4 ammo packs that you can detach, and you can take those on and off of the beam rifle. Beam sabers, nothing fancy, but at least they bevel at the bottom there. Put some black lining around if you choose, and you're going to get a very tiny figure, which I've probably already lost, of the pilot, and landing gear. Before I transform this back into the core fighter, just so you can see the differences, you're going to have differences in length there, but it doesn't interfere once you actually put it inside. The cockpits look a fair bit better because this has clear plastic over it, but then again the pilot is going to be sitting facing down instead of facing forward. And if you look at the back, there's a lot more detail on the right because this is actually from the core fighter. To transform the core block, pretty simple. You're going to bring forward the nose cone of the jet, close off this blue part where you would attach the top of the chest on, put this down, and then you bring these forward and then bend them down and then push them in, and you should hear a click sound as they lock into place. And all of a sudden you have what looks like a jet, and it really looks like a jet once you pull this out. But Bandai has a big note in the instruction manual to be very careful when you're putting them in. Don't push them in through here. You're supposed to push them in and actually be swinging them back at the same time. So you have to be pretty careful with that, or you may end up with broken parts. Now, once you put the landing gear on here, I think you've got one of the better looking core fighters on any Gundam, and for sure, I actually, as you saw in the last little clip there, I prefer this one to how this one looks folded up, so I'm going to look forward to putting this one in, especially because you can pull the beam sabers out of it, and having the core fighter as a separate display. So nice touch, Bandai. I wish you do that with all of your core fighters. Please click down below for part 2, and you can see all those parts get combined into the Gundam GP03. Thanks for watching, everybody. Congratulations on your master grade and all, but you know, you're always going to be the smallest and the weakest Gundam. Hey, what are you talking about? I'm almost 100 years better technology. I think a Hexa could take you.